So welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read Choose Your Own Adventure style stories.
I'm Stephanie!
I'm Paul.
I'm Paul.
Oh, I'm Paul. I redact. I'm Paul.
Well, we can all be Paul tonight, but we're your hosts,
You're
Pauls. Megan. Oh. I quit.
No, you're Megan.
Oh, fine. I'm Megan.
Anyway, I'm Stephanie. Let's say our names over and over and over. The whole podcast.
We hope this isn't your first episode.
Or do we?
But if it is, we have a great story for you tonight.
That's true.
Because
we didn't write it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the main reason.
Yeah.
In fact, it was written by the great Sean.
Sean, why are you pausing so much?
This is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah. Hey, it's fun.
So, the story that Sean gave us this week is called Oceans 3.
Wow.
That's a lot of oceans.
Not as many as there are, though.
Right.
So I'm worried. Did one of them dry up?
Well, there's an extra one now.
There's an extra one?
Yeah, there's one we didn't learn about in school now.
What's
What?
it called?
I don't remember. The Southern Ocean, I think.
Oh.
South.
I'll
Well, I
have to
wouldn't know.
summer
I didn't
there.
learn about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like to summer then. I take my holidays.
All right. So
I think it's really cold, though. So don't go there.
Oh.
it would make sense. So I believe this continues our Garglock Tales series.
Oh my god. I can't wait for you to be like all strain voiced and like trying so hard to whisper, yell something at me, but it's just coming out as a whisper and you're like crying.
Yeah.
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 Did that come across? It seemed like I kind of got lost there, but
You got to the
Whisper
point
scream.
eventually. All right. You guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Alarms echoed in Garglock's ears, and red lights flashed over his face. His gruff voice was obscured by the tools in his mouth. God damn it, Danny. Red or blue? It's not that fucking hard. Garglock was wedged tight between two walls. His face was buried in a service panel. From below, Rusty Ryan was typing furiously on his laptop, his hands covered in dark latex matching the rest of his attire. I don't know, Gargy. I can't find it here. Man, I knew we should have done a pilfering Pete. A pilfering Pete? A pilfering Pete? Rusty, I am a snapping turtle, not a sea turtle.
oh damn.
Garglock slid down the gap and marched towards Rusty menacingly. And I'm about to show you the difference.
He's gonna snap his dick.
I was going to say we're going to have our first sex scene already.
Oh, damn. I can't wait. This is Oceans 3.
Yeah.
It's an ocean up in here.
That
I'm sorry.
was a good one. An abrasive alarm sounded and the two of them sighed. Time's up. Danny Ocean clapped his hands. Garglock grimaced and stomped off the mock-up, growling at Rusty. I was where I needed to be. Good. Danny rolled his eyes as Garglock walked past him. That's real helpful, Gargy. Garglock turned around slowly. Danny waited. When Garglock was facing him, he said, Rusty's a great con man. He's got as many talents as you do, Danny. But let's be honest here. We need a computer guy. Rusty produced a pouch of applesauce from his pocket and shouted, He's right, Danny. We need a typer. Danny nodded, looking down. Livingston, I know, but ironically, Livingston is dead.
That is pretty ironic.
The trio stood quietly for a minute and looked at their feet. Garglock finally looked up. I know I should feel bad, but I don't. The other two looked at him and he shrugged, which is hard for turtles. I never liked the guy. I mean, I didn't dislike the guy, but I don't know. Rusty squeezed the last bit from his pouch and took a knee beside Garglock. I hear you, Gargy, and I'm sorry. I forgot you were a freshwater turtle. Garglock nodded to Rusty and looked to Danny. What do we do now? Danny looked down. Either one of us needs to learn something about alarm systems, or we need a new plan. So, does Garglock volunteer to read up on the ins and outs of alarm systems? Or does Garglock spend the whole night coming up with a new plan?
It doesn't matter to me which way we go with this particular choice.
Wow, way to be vested.
Well, it's because they're both kind of like work choices.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have an emotional attachment to either choice.
It's true.
I see.
Let's just go with the first one. Move this sucker along, am I right?
Right.
Just kidding.
All right, so we're going to read the ins and outs of alarm systems.
Yeah. Oh, God. Why did we choose that one?
What's the new plan, though?
Wait. What's the other choice?
Come up with a new plan.
What's in that?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious? Right.
This is what people listen for.
Guys, this just isn't working. We're not playing to our strengths, Garglock noted. See, we're not good with computers. We don't have a grease man. We're 3 dapper Dans, but I think I can make that work. Danny and Rusty walked a little closer, listening intently.
God, I hope they put on top hats.
With Danny's good looks, and Rusty's even better looks, and my exceptional looks, we can steal anything. Just give me a night to come up with it. Danny and Rusty looked at themselves. They were very attractive. Maybe Garglock had a point. All right, Gargy, Danny agreed. We'll hear your plan tomorrow. I won't let you down. Cuckoo-ca-choo, Gargy, Rusty added. Cuckoo-ca-choo, Garglock said, and he crawled over to the waiting pool they set up for him. The other two left for the evening while Garglock soaked in thought. In the morning it came to him like a song. He went over the plan to the 2 men, who reacted positively. You, the audience, cannot hear them because this is a heist story, and it's against the law to fill in the audience until the very end. That's a good plan, Gargy. Rusty patted his shell. When do we execute? Rusty, that's the most important part. Garglock lowered his voice, even though the only 2 people in the room were people he needed to hear this. We go in 2 days, on Saturday, to optimize the amount of single mothers at the aquarium.
Ooh, nice.
Danny and Rusty looked at each other confused. Why is that important?
MILFs.
Did we miss something? Gargy loves a single mother, and they love him. And if I meet one, I'll know they're free next weekend. Garglock tapped his forehead, and Danny winced. Rusty nodded and began taking notes. Nah, I'm just kidding you. We need the crowds. The 3 went to Rusty's hotel, a large penthouse suite. Garglock marveled at the opulence. Whoa, Rusty. You're really hoping for a big payday on this aquarium job, aren't you? Well, you can't take it with you, you know. He plopped on the couch and grabbed a tube of Pringles. Check it out, Danny. He put the empty can on his arm. I'm Mega Man. Okay, Rusty.
Nice,
Danny calmed him down. What do you want to watch? Heroes or The Great British Bake Off?
British Bake Off. Heroes.
I knew as soon as I saw it, I wouldn't be able to get to the page quick enough.
Is he leading us? Does
Yeah,
he
probably
know?
is.
He probably is.
I mean, what the fuck is Heroes?
All right. Heroes?
I never watched it.
I heard it was that show that was like really good for the first season, and then the writer's strike happened. And apparently the second season like undid everything good that the first season had. Danny plopped to the couch. You know, Tess turned me on to the show. Garglock really thought the mention of Tess would sting, but he found himself okay with it. Tess really turned me on too, he joked. Coke jettisoned out of Rusty's nose as he laughed. He was right to. It was a good joke. The 2 of them high-fived and Garglock smiled as he turned to the TV. 3 hours passed when Garglock said, Why is this so good? He motioned to the TV. Danny turned to Garglock with a stony, serious face. I don't know. He shook his head incredulously. It doesn't make any sense. We're literally watching dough rise. The hosts aren't that funny, and they barely even tell the audience how to bake. Rusty put his hand out to stop his friends. Would you guys, for the love of God, please shut up? Ruby is about to present her chiffon cake, and if she doesn't get Star Baker for the week, I swear to God, I will kill myself.
I mean, for real, Ruby was so cute.
Ooh, I like Kim Joy.
Which one was Ruby?
She was from the first season, the girl with the bird nest hair who almost won.
I thought it was
okay.
this recent season. There's also Ruby. Anyway.
I have the first season Ruby's cookbook. She's a delight. Anyway.
They finished the series in silence, save for the finale when Ruby didn't win. Garglock had to hide all the sharp objects while Danny consoled his friend. It's all right, buddy. She's doing all right for herself. Look, I found her blog. Turn to page 16.
I wonder what she writes about.
When Saturday finally rolled around, they were inspired. Danny put on his best black suit with a crimson tie. Rusty wore a very nice gray suit, no tie. And to fill out the ensemble, Garglock strutted out of the bathroom wearing a bow tie and sunglasses.
Aw, little turtle, bow tie.
This is it, Danny told his friends, and they walked into the lobby. Men gasped as they meandered by, and women swooned. Some even fainted. All aquatic animals they happened to pass immediately dropped their eggs, even the males.
Damn.
Oh, yes.
When the trio arrived, they stood staring at the aquarium. I am the walrus, Danny whispered.
Oh my god.
I am the Eggman, Garglock chimed. Cuckoo Cachoo, Rusty finished.
They gotta stop.
The trio walked to the ticket counter with a confident strut. It was showtime. This is the moment they've worked so hard for. How many tickets? The teller asked in a bored tone. She was in her 30s, but she looked middle-aged. Her face was sun-damaged and her attitude was shot. Danny gave her a smile and rested his elbow against the counter. He lowered his sunglasses to the tip of his nose, looking over the frames. Hey there. The teller had seen it before. You don't move tickets at the famed New Jersey Aquarium for 15 years without seeing more than your share of smooth talkers. Tickets are $45 apiece. If Danny was fazed by this little setback, he didn't show it. He gave her a sly wink. How much for a piece of that?
Oh my god, dude, you're not gonna get any tickets.
When the teller closed her eyes and groaned in frustration, Rusty and Garglock skipped past the teller into the aquarium.
Nice.
Step 1 was complete. If you're the type of person who plays by the rules, the teller gives you a ticket and security scans your ticket inside, often stamping your hand to forego this step for re-entries. Rusty was not the type of person who plays by the rules. He produced one of those cheese and cracker packs her mom used to put in my lunch. You know, with the red plastic slab to spread the cheese on.
I used to chew on everybody. I used to collect those in school. I would keep them in a Tic Tac container.
Used to.
And then I would chew them up in class because I'm a psycho. Just a little tip.
Stuff fact.
Wow.
Yeah. If you ever want to fuck up your teeth and need braces, chew on those things in class.
Yeah. A life hack. Rusty ate one of those while he watched people re-enter with their stamps.
The stick?
I guess so.
I do.
After he finished his crackers, he scraped up the remaining cheese and was about to put it in his mouth when... You can't be serious, Garglock protested. You're not even going to offer me that orange goodness?
Oh.
Fuck no, Rusty exclaimed and put the stick of cheese in his mouth. This, of course, prompted a security guard to approach Rusty. Sir, there are children present, and you don't appear to have any business here, so I think you should move along. Officer, I'm very sorry. Rusty began his speech, giving Garglock enough time to do what he's best at. By the time Rusty was done talking to the officer, Garglock had managed to completely disrobe the security guard.
What? Oh my god.
Anyway, Rusty continued, could you direct me to the bathroom? Sure, it's right behind me. The guard motioned with his thumb. He then walked past Rusty, completely naked. Garglock began to trot to the bathroom. Let's go! Rusty followed close after him. Police! Police! A woman screamed as they ran into the bathroom. How can I help you? The security guard offered.
Why doesn't he know?
Once inside, they found the handicap stall. which you really should avoid using unless you yourself are handicapped or you're in the middle of the biggest aquatic heist of the century. That's not where I thought we were going with biggest, but all right. Rusty quickly swapped his clothes for the security guards and ditched his very nice suit into the toilet.
Into the toilet? Why?
Maybe it's like disposable?
It's very nice.
Yeah. That's the brand.
Nothing.
Very nice disposable suits. Our next sponsor, in fact.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hope that they hear our podcast.
Yeah. All right. Come on, time for step 3. Garglock nodded, his heart racing. He felt so young, so invigorated. Pepperoni wouldn't believe him, and he would have enough stories for the young ones to last days.
Damn!
They walked past the checkpoint undeterred and make their way to the small North American swamp exhibit. You sure this is it? Garglock asked. This looks like a normal swamp. You got frogs and snakes and some fish, I suppose. Nothing particularly valuable. Gargy, trust me, this is it. Rusty used the officer's key card to the service door besides the exhibit, and the door unlocked. After you, old friend. Garglock entered, beginning to get a little suspicious. Once inside the very bright room, they noticed cleaning supplies, racks of tools, various bins of food, and a security panel just like the one Garglock was working on in the mock-up. Rusty tapped the panel and it lit up. All right, Gargy, let's see you do your stuff. Garglock nodded and yanked the keypad off with his mouth. There were 3 wires. Oh no! Garglock gasped. Rusty, this is the newest model. We were practicing on last year's version.
Oh, God.
Well, what's the difference? Rusty, you stupid bitch.
Oh, my God.
The newest model has 3 wires, not 2.
Oh, no.
Cut whichever one you would have cut before. It was white, wasn't it? Oh, gee, Rusty, thanks a bunch, Garglock said sarcastically. When they change security systems, they always change the color of wire to cut, to trick thieves. Man, those security guys are smart.
Yeah. Or they leave it the same.
I'm still unclear why devices always have one wire that will deactivate the device if it's cut. You'd think every wire is important to the circuit.
Yeah.
Rusty. And why are all the wires different colors anyway? Rusty, you don't know how embarrassing this is for you, and that makes me embarrassed just to be with you right now. Just cut a wire, okay? Which wire does he cut? Red, white, or blue?
Oh my gosh, that's an American color scheme right there.
Ooh, I don't know. Red?
That's what I was going to go with because it seems the scariest.
Yeah. All right, go with the red one. Either that was a good guess or you've done your research. Garglock snipped the red wire. The security box went dark and Garglock smiled at a job well done.
Yeah.
Megan, we can become bomb deactivators or whatever.
Yeah.
Which one's the scariest color?
It's simple. Rusty knocked his friend's shell approvingly and opened the feed door. Garglock stretched up to try to see the hall. What's the loot, Rusty? What's the take? Rusty gingerly reached into the exhibit and carefully pulled out a small turtle. Stephanie, you're up.
I'm very afraid of trying to do the Garglock voice.
Try your best.
The small turtle looked at Garglock and yawned. Hi, I'm Tiny Turtle. Want to be my friend? Garglock looked at Tiny Turtle and back to Rusty. God. What is this, Rusty? How'd I do?
It was just spot on.
Tiny Turtle blinked. I'm Tiny Turtle. I feel like I just said that. Rusty pet the bog turtle with his finger. Garglock, this is the essence. Tiny Turtle giggled and leaned into the finger. Hey, wanna see me dance? Go ahead, Rusty whispered, then gestured to Garglock. Gargy, get me the terrarium for my supplies. Garglock.
Your southern accent is just something he's trying to seduce.
He says he whispered, so I thought that he was like, I got a secret.
Okay.
Garglock marched in front of Rusty. Rusty, what are you gonna do to that turtle? He demanded. Rusty maintained his calm voice for Tiny Turtle's benefit, while the little turtle did the Charleston.
Oh.
We're gonna save America, Garglock. How's that one? It's more like Blanche Devereaux.
Sure.
I don't like this. Why are you being so vague? And who is America? America is the country we live in. At least it was. Rusty went for the terrarium himself. Not me! I live in the river, Garglock growled. And so should this Bob Turtle. Tiny Turtle stopped dancing.
No.
What did I do for him? Did you say Garglock? Rusty and Garglock stopped and looked to Tiny Turtle. Have you heard of me? The river demon himself? Am I doing the right voice?
Yeah.
This is really hard to keep track of. Well, that was a long time ago. Now I'm just Garglock. Garglock! Tiny Turtle squealed and began moonwalking in circles on Rusty's hand.
Oh.
The elder has told me about you. We need to meet him. Rusty dropped him into the terrarium. No, little guy. We need to get you to headquarters. Garglock looked to Tiny Turtle and looked at Rusty. Does Garglock help his friends take Tiny Turtle to headquarters, or does Garglock help Tiny Turtle find the elder?
Oh, I want to find the elder.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Garglock protested. Wait, Rusty, I want to hear about this elder guy. Tiny Turtle yipped. Oh, he's great. You're going to love him. Rusty shook his head and began to put the lid on the plastic cage. No time. Look, we got what we came for. Now we leave. Garglock growled and blocked Rusty's path. Don't make me hurt you, Rusty. Garglock, we don't have time for this. Oh.
I'm getting the vapors.
I'm getting the vapors big time. Rusty avoided Garglock's eyes as he tried to step past him. Rusty, this is outrageous. I thought we were just going to rob a casino like the good old days. But now we're stealing a bog turtle for a resistance cell to save a country? This has spiraled way out of control. Rusty's ears went hot and he shouted, Wait, who was... Oh, that was fucking Garglock talking. Rusty! This is outrageous! All of that stuff I just said, but in Garglock voice.
No.
I thought we were just gonna rob a casino like the good old days, but now we're stealing a bog turtle for a resistance cell to save a country? This has spiraled way out of control. Rusty's ears went hot and he shouted, This was your choice, Garglock. You could have stayed in your stupid river with your stupid family and while away your stupid life, but you chose to get involved. Now we have the essence and I choose to bring it to the resistance. Garglock stretched his neck as far as it would go and shouted back, Isn't that like 2 feet? What was my mom saying? Snapping turtles? I don't know what kind of turtle he is. He's a snapping turtle, right?
They've never said.
Garglock?
They said.
Yeah.
He's a snapping turtle.
I know.
It's long. He shouted back, You're right! I did choose to do one last job with you, but you didn't tell me what the score was, did you? You just thought you'd keep that to yourself, and do you know why? Because you knew that if I found out it was kidnapping turtles, I probably wouldn't be down with that. Garglock lunged forward and bit Rusty's nose.
Oh my god.
Rusty yelped in pain and brought his hands to his nose, dropping the terrarium and knocking the lid open. His gorgeous looks.
Oh no.
Where the fuck is the other guy?
Yeah, but now he'll have a mark to make him more attractive. Because it's like
everybody likes when the tip of your nose is gone.
Hey,
Jack Frost
it worked
likes
for
it.
Michael Jackson. Say Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Garglock. Come on, follow me. Tiny Turtle ran. I feel like I make this joke about how turtles are fast runners in each story, and I figure, why stop now? Garglock took 2 large steps and was in front of Tiny.
Oh.
He's so small. Why don't you climb aboard and direct me? Cool! Tiny Turtle hobbled on top of the monster snapper. Oh, he's a snapping turtle.
Was he freshwater or?
Yeah, there's no way of
I
knowing.
don't know.
He's never said, so.
Yeah.
Rusty cursed and flailed on the floor, his face red with anger and blood. Damn you, Goggy! You fucked us all! Once out of the room, Garglock found his way to the middle of a crowd of people, effectively hiding themselves from searching eyes. All right, Tiny, where to? Tiny tried to gain his bearings through the sea of legs. Tiny Turtle found the familiar landmark. That way, Garglock, he pointed with a small leg. Oh, so small. God, my fucking throat. Sean, never again. Garglock crawled in the indicated direction, being very careful to remain underfoot and out of sight. Soon he found himself to a door. Out here? Yes, yes, yes! Tiny Turtle began line dancing on Garglock's shell.
Oh.
Okay. Garglock wondered how Tiny Turtle knew the layout so well when he was clearly locked up in his exhibit. Regardless, he pushed the door open and found himself standing in warm sand. Tiny Turtle hopped off his new friend and trotted towards some large stones. Elder One, the river demon has come to us, just as you foretold. Oh, God. Come on, kid, I'm not the river demon anymore. I'm just Garglock. I'm just plain old Garglock. Garglock corrected.
From the neighborhood Garglock.
Yeah. A low rumble. God damn it. Do you hear my voice? It is not low. A low rumble reverberated through the pen as a voice which dripped with over a century of wisdom echoed inside Garglock's shell. Garglock. Each symbol was pronounced as if it were its own word. Mighty Garglock. One of the large stones shifted and legs sprouted from underneath. With an abrupt shake, sand fell from the stone, revealing a massive shell. Garglock gasped as he watched a long neck stretch to the sky. Ah, damn! That's long. A giant tortoise pivoted, its large eyes blinking as they found Garglock for the first time in his life. Garglock was dwarfed.
Do you think its eyes are like the owl's eyes in, was it Rockadoodle? Or no, The Secret of Nim?
No.
Yes,
probably.
Thinking about Neverending Story, tortoise or turtle.
Aw. What's his name? He was slow. I don't remember.
More or something crazy. Something like that.
Something crazy.
Shadowfax.
No. Okay. Tiny Turtle began tap dancing in the sand, which really isn't the best place for that particular dance, but he was very excited. The Elder, Garglock whispered. You like that whisper?
Mm-hmm.
The tortoise stood tall and stretched his neck down to meet Garglock. Hey, Megan, remember when we did that thing that's probably illegal now where we rode on some big-ass tortoises?
Yeah. I
That
think
was
it probably
sweet.
is. They're endangered.
Where did you guys do that?
I don't know. We were really young.
It was in South Dakota at a zoo.
It was
Oh.
rad.
It was
But I feel bad
Galapagos
about it.
tortoises. Yeah. Just like children.
Yeah.
Children would ride on them all day. Probably not very nice.
Just ride them to death.
No, we didn't ride them to death. We were very light. Anyway, the tortoise stood tall and stretched his neck down to meet Garglock. Yes, I am the Elder. It's not a name I chose or even one I particularly like, but it is who I am. This is terrible. Do you understand, River Demon? This took Garglock aback. How do you know who I am?
I mean, Tiny Turtle just
Tiny
announced.
Turtle just said. Have you found your canon ending yet? If yes, page 10. If no, page 8.
We haven't.
No, we
Nope.
haven't. The Elder squat back down to a less intimidating pose, and Garglock approached him. Shakwa has told me about... I don't know who's talking. Shakwa has told me about you. I think it's the Elder. I've made him weirder.
You sound like a nerdy monotone guy with vocal fry.
That's what I've got. That's the lowest I go. That's it. Yeah, that's the lowest I go. It's like my neck gets like 3 times bigger.
Are you the Grinch?
Yeah.
But of
Except for
necks?
throats.
Yeah.
Throat Grinch. That's me.
It's like the Grinch had an allergic attack and his neck swole 3 times.
Yeah. And nobody helped him because they were like, oh, it's something good is happening probably. Like when his heart suddenly burst and grew so much bigger, like were they not worried about him?
Well, he kept calling like, who will help me? And they were like, yeah, I don't know.
Who? And that's how owls are born.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's not a turtle in the world who does not know the name Chukwa. Chukwa grows exhausted, Garglock. What? Garglock could not believe his ear holes. Chukwa is tireless. There is no end to his endurance. I don't know who Chukwa is.
Well, we're not turtles. So
Yeah.
I feel okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess this is definitive proof that I'm not a turtle.
Yep.
Fuck.
Sorry.
You
My
heard it
whole
here.
life. The elder sighed a deep breath and explained. Chuckwa cannot balance the world. Okay. Chuckwa cannot balance the world on his back forever. Even gods need breaks. You know this better than most. Thanks, Terry Pratchett. I know who it is now.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Thanks, context clues. I also know who it is now.
Garglock's mouth twitched. The elder looked into his eyes, and suddenly Garglock's mind was opened, and he saw the images of the humans he saw earlier at the restaurant on a beach, much like he stood on now. They were not in a dining room, though. They were cooking. With great strain, Garglock noted that they were preparing Tiny Turtle!
What?
What? I don't like it!
Preparing Tiny Turtle to have the best feast of his life.
I hope so.
I hope
Preparing Tiny Turtle to try on these new pair of tap shoes.
Oh, they're golden ones.
Anyway, I don't know who's talking, so I'm gonna think that it's Garglock. We're gods sometimes. Megan! Garglock stepped back, almost falling. What just happened? Why do I remember that? The elder chuckled a little. So young. Sometimes it's easier to remind young ones of things that unhappened than it is to explain the actions of gods. The elder retracted his head to just the opening of his shell. Chuckwa is preparing to die, Garglock.
No.
But his task will never be complete. He requires you to balance the earth on your shell.
What?
You want me to be Chuckwa? But I'm a freshwater turtle. You need an astral species for that.
Am I right?
Full of objections and light on responsibility. The elder's tone became authoritative.
You know who you sound like? Dr. Killinger.
Oh, yeah!
Who?
Good. From Venture Brothers, he was the best. I love him so much.
He's based on Henry Kissinger, but he's called Dr. Killinger. And he wears like a skull mask.
And he's kind of like Mary Poppins also.
Yeah.
Where he's like really scary but super loving.
Was he not in, like...
He's in later seasons.
Okay. I don't know.
Look him up because he is the sweetest. There is no choice here, Garglock. This is your path. This is why you exist. Had the gods chosen differently, you would have been Chuckwa long ago. Now begin... Now I want to make him German. Now begin your training. A white light flashed and then turned blue. Garglock heard Tiny Turtle say, "Bye-bye, Gargy." When Garglock opened his eyes, he was alone in a void. His feet could feel no ground, and his lungs could not fill. He felt no pain or danger or anything. He just was. Welcome, Garglock! No? Welcome, Garglock! With that voice. He did not hear a voice. He just felt an idea form within his consciousness. I don't understand, Garglock shouted, but no noise came from his mouth because he discovered he had no mouth. This is getting fucking freaky.
Yeah, this is taking a huge turn from what I was expecting.
Yeah. I suppose this is a bit much. A swirl of color spiraled out from a focal point beyond comprehension. That's a nifty little trick.
Yeah.
It splayed forth a horizon and quickly filled a landscape with water and trees and sky. It began to rain. The water pooled and began to take the shape of Pepperoni. Hey! Garglock felt pain, a searing, agonizing pain in his spinal column formed from his thoughts. With a massive silent scream, a rib cage spurted from the spine and covered his back. The rib cage flattened itself and became a shell. Ew. Garglock felt boiling from within the shell as his organs were molded. His limbs stretched from below, and with a final scream, Garglock found his voice inside his head. Whoa!
Wow.
What the actual fuck? Garglock blinked but could not see anything anymore. Shoot, sorry, Pepperoni said, and with two little pops, Garglock had eyes. Fuck, fuck, fuck! The world which was made for Garglock was perfect. I said I was sorry. I haven't really created anything in a couple billion years. I'm out of practice here. I'm walking here. What?
I'm just lost because earlier, like, you brought up Megan.
Yeah. Whoever was preparing Tiny Turtle was Megan. Like in the vision that Chuckwa gave him.
Okay.
So now some astral shit is going on and somebody's creating him somehow.
I'm so lost.
I know. It's pretty dense, but I have a feeling we're going to know what's going on. Anyway, are you ready, Garglock? Ready for what? Garglock savored the feeling of cool water on his new feet, but he was too angry to show it. It's time for you to learn how to become the new world turtle. It's time for you to become Chuckwa. The end. So we didn't learn anything.
All right, guys. We really want to get through all of Sean's story, or at least to find the canon ending. But this one's taken a little while, so we're going to break it up into the next episode.
Like a Kit Kat.
Yeah. I get 2 pieces, you each get 1.
No.
Wow. What the hell?
Just like a Kit Kat.
We get 2 pieces each, and then when we're done swallowing, we can spit the rest into your mouth.
Yeah. That's how it works. Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time on Ocean's 3 Part 2. That won't be confusing at all. All right.
No.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.